Hey, you guys, welcome in to Divine Golden Intuitions. Oh, welcome in to Divine Golden Master, where we master being divine at this 3D reality. Okay, y'all, we're not doing a reading. We're not doing a reading. So today, this is gonna be the video about the pineal gland and the pine cones. Okay, so y'all know I break stuff down. Y'all know I like to break stuff all the way down. And as I was going through, creating my notes, like I was feeling like, because I was originally supposed to go live sooner, but I was feeling like as I was going through it, like I don't want to give y'all information that is not, what I'm saying, like completely broken down to its simplest form, because then at that point, what are we really doing? Like, what are we really doing here? Am I really just reiterating what all the world has told you? No, because a lot of people already know that, you know, the main key factor is that the third eye is in the shape of a pine cone, but it's just within your brain. All right, if you don't know this, now you know that's one of the main facts, but it goes so much deeper on the aspect of how it affects you, and then the history aspects on how they use it against us. So I decided to do a series of this. So this is going to be episode 1 of the pineal gland. And the Virgo in me. The Virgo in me always has me organizing, putting things into a category. And if I have things in a category, even in the house, like all my wig stuff is over here. All the stuff for this part of the wig, like everything is spread out. I'm seeing two hawks too, look. But everything, I have everything spread out. Like, so it's separated to their own little collection. So this is how I want to do this. Very much Virgo. Put everything in their own compartment. Okay, so, and it's gonna make it easier on all of us to be able to just be able to come back and actually utilize the information, and like, I want y'all to utilize this in your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not just giving you this information to be like, oh wow, we have a pineal gland and it's shaped just like a pine cone. That I didn't know that. I'm not telling you this just for you to feel like that. Because you're going to feel like that, but I'm telling you this for you to be able to change your life, change your kids' life, change everybody around you life. Like, this is that serious. Like, and I wanted to really just, I was supposed to record this video on Wednesday, but I didn't want to do it. I've been having a lot of things going on, and I didn't want to do it when I was not in the correct energy, like, because this is something that is serious, and this is something that could literally change your life. It's changed my life, and the more that I take conscious actions to incorporate it, the better my life gets. Okay, so it's a process, but we're in this together, and we're gonna go ahead and break this down. So we're gonna do some part 1 over here, part 2 on Patreon. Now, you guys, don't forget, the Patreon is up. It's live. This week, we went over the magic of the day. We're also going to do magic of the day for our regular YouTube channel, for the regular family platform. But we're going to do for the more intimate Patreon, I have a specific section just if you don't want to be a part of the Patreon for like the day-to-day stuff. If you just want to see, like, because I know some people was telling me like, hey, I don't really have the energy to be able to like keep up with something day-to-day. It's not going to be worth my money, but I do want to do the videos. And I remember people was telling me that last time, where it was like I was going to keep people to have the day-to-day and then the videos be extra. So I switched it this time with my Patreon, and I did the videos. If you just want the videos, that tier is there, and it's way cheaper than all the other ones. And if you want the videos and the extra stuff without the mentorship, then that's there as well. But yes, so if you feel led to, you feel called, then go check that out. It's going to be a part 2 to episode 1. So this is going to be an episode 1 part A. That's going to be episode 1 part B over there. All right, and over there, I'm basically going to say the things that I can't say on YouTube. The things that I'm going to post here, they're going to be, like, I'm not going to speak in code too much, but it's still going to be things that you're going to have to decode. Now, when I go and put I was going to say put in post, but when I go and put posts on Patreon, those are going to be the more in-depth posts where it's like things that they would instantly flag my video for, things that they would instantly take my video down for, because this knowledge is power. All right, so we 5 minutes in. Let me just start talking about it so y'all can get into the motion, the move, and the groove of things. So y'all know I took notes, because as I was breaking it down, it was just getting deep, and it was just like, oh yeah, we got to have notes. Okay, so the third eye is a antenna that connects us to higher frequencies and higher consciousness. So imagine your third eye right now, like, and close your eyes right now, right? Put your hand on your third eye. Imagine that area having a mini pine cone there, right? So we're imagining that mini pine cone that's connected to our brain, all right? And it's like an antenna that's connecting us. So imagine if your eyes was closed and you was just, your antenna was filling things out. Hey you guys, so I did want to input this part right here. Now when we break down the pituitary gland and what it is more scientifically, because we know, everybody doesn't resonate with the energy of like it connecting us to higher frequencies and higher consciousness. When you think about it more just scientific terms, you can think about it in a way where when you think about anatomy, they call the pituitary gland the master gland of the endocrine system. And the endocrine system is controlling the functions of the glands, and the glands is what is releasing into your bloodstream. Okay, so it says on Google, when you look it up, it says the pineal gland's main function is to produce melatonin, a hormone that regulates sleep-wake cycles and circadian rhythms. The pineal gland is a small cone-shaped gland located in the middle of the brain, which is like the pine cone, okay, that we were discussing the whole video about, right? It's in the same exact shape, all right? We know that the universe definitely uses symbols, shapes, numbers, okay, to communicate things to us. And if you utilize your critical thinking, you're going to notice that it's not by mistake that these two are the same shape. It was to signal us, right? To help us to remember and awaken us. Okay, one of the signs. You got to know that when we are in this universe, the signs are with us and all around us. It's all about us gaining the awareness of it. Okay, so let's keep going. So we know the pineal gland is producing the melatonin. Okay, so melatonin is what helps us. We need that. Okay, so melatonin helps us to be able to have that healthy sleep cycle. And for a lot of women, you'll know that they'll tell a lot of women that we need to make sure that we get a healthy amount of rest. Make sure we're getting enough rest. Why is that? Well, when you think about a woman, we have more glands, or more areas, I should say, not more glands, but more areas that are affected by these hormones being released. Okay, because the glands that we have is the pituitary gland and the adrenaline glands, the pancreas, and then the ovaries, and then the testes. So women have more because we have babies, right? Okay, so that already shows you that we're like a little bit more deeply connected, okay, to earth, to life, right? Because we even birth life. Okay, so now let's break it down into like a simple breakdown. So the pineal gland produces hormones, and those hormones regulate they also regulate many of the body functions. Okay, the hormones that are produced then is released into your glands, and then your glands are released into your bloodstream, which is your life force energy. And with this, we can understand the concept of our ancestors' blood running through us, right? And through our DNA. And this is why a lot of times we hold on to certain generational patterns and conditioning because of our blood, okay? And having to heal, like, what we may call generational curses and things like that. And the concept, we can also understand the concept that we can renew our body every couple years depending on new experiences and mind frames that we choose to have and the things that we choose to experience. And this is how we can use this to heal from within as well. Okay, so basically to rewire your brain and rewire your blood and changing yourself from inside, right? So yes. One thing also that you will notice too when your third eye is open, that you can expect life-changing spiritual experiences. You can easily astral travel. You can easily see energy better. Okay, you can easily, and not easily, but just more, it's way more easier when you have a healthy third eye that is not calcified, where you don't have to decalcify it. You've been having a healthy diet. You have been using toothpaste, certain things like that, avoiding certain sugars and food. You'll be able to benefit from these benefits, your superpowers, right? But yeah, so yeah, you'll be able to easily lucid dream. You'll be more telepathic, and you cannot be lied to. This is the main reason right here why they want to, like, because it's like people will be like, okay, well, what's the whole purpose? Like, okay, I get it. Okay, so if our pineal gland is not messed up with all this stuff, we're able to see past things. So it's like, what is it that we're needing to see past, right? What we miss a lot of times, and what we don't and are trained and conditioned not to see, is the programming and conditioning of the matrix, right? Making sure everybody stays in line. The rituals that are done in front of us that they are harvesting our energy off of, right? But I digress. So when your third eye is open, you cannot be lied to or manipulated by conditioning and programming, because a lot of times it can't bypass the third eye. Okay, and this also is basically setting you up to be able to avoid certain spiritual attacks, avoid certain cults. So it's like, at this point now, instead of you being easily manipulated and you being able to just be a sheep, now you're a problem, because you're aware and you're making your own decisions and you're using your brain. And you'll also notice that when you activate this, you're more telepathic, all these different things. It's like, you notice how much you don't need a government and all of these different conditions and these things that's imposed on us, right? Okay, so this is another reason why a lot of people will do microdose of plant medicine and different things like that to go into deep meditation, because when you go into deep breath work, meditation, taking different plant medicines, you bypass certain conditioning and programming, and you're able to go deeper and see past the physical, the 3D, right? Because we're on a 3D plane, but it's also many different realities existing in different realms and dimensions existing. But most of us can only see this one dimension because that was the program. The program is to keep you focused on going to get the job, being a schedule, raising the kids right, making sure they're going to school, making sure, right? A lot of times it's like a lot of things where it's like you don't have time to really sit and think about how you feel about something, or how you are, or even check in on how you're feeling, to notice that you may be having some type of emotion that you're not supposed to have, or not even not supposed to have, but you're supposed to have. But you're supposed to be able to sit and understand those emotions, transmute those emotions. But because you are so worried about mundane things and caught up because you're blocked spiritually, so you're only you just, that way you can be programmed. When you're blocked spiritually, you can be programmed easily because you don't really know your direction, and when you don't know your direction, you can be swayed anyway. Okay, so okay, now let's see where we're at now. Hold on. Oh yeah, so this is the part where I was talking about how this is an example of how you'll notice that you're able to release certain emotions through these modalities and mechanisms and medicines. You'll be able to release certain emotions, and you'll realize how much power that emotion could have been holding over you right at that time, or those thoughts, or that trauma. Okay. All right. For example, when you take plant medicine or you go into deep meditation, when you look around in your environment, you may pick up on different feelings or energies, different than before you had the plant medicine. This is an example of how we can be vibrating at a frequency that is weighing us down because it is outdated or just a mental spell you could have been doing on yourself by having repeating negative thoughts. So in that point right there, I want you all to take the time to think about, when is the last time you've had a thought that came from your past? What? Oh, no, baby. I'm talking about the video, sir. Just don't be too long. I wasn't saying that. But when is the last time that you've had a thought from your past that was negative, that was bringing you down, that made you feel like you couldn't do something? Or how about, when was the last time you went to go do something for the first time and you thought about the last time you did something for the first time that wasn't so good? All right, that is one way there that a lot of people live their life, right? Living their life from the negative trauma thoughts that are repeating in their head. And I am a witness, and I still struggle with this day to day. And not even just the negative thoughts or trauma, but for me, it's more so because since a young kid, I've been very spiritual. I'm very tapped in. I see all the time. And even when you look at my human design, my body design, my crown is open. So I have to daily do meditation and different things to ground myself and realize that just because I'm picking up on this energy, or just because it's happened in the past, doesn't mean that this is gonna be how it happens today. So for some of you guys, you need to remind yourself on a day-to-day basis that just because the last time this happened to me, or I got denied this, because even in our abundance, especially if you are a melanated being, we have been, and we're going to get to that too, because we're going to show how it's so easy to, once you fuck up the system, how it could just easily just keep going in a down spiral, and how hard it is going to be to shift it, but it is doable, right? So think about that and realize that when you are having recurrent thoughts, these negative thoughts, you are casting a spell on yourself. You are over and over again creating that situation. So therefore, the universe is going to over and over again deliver to you that experience. Now, some will say, well, I can't get out the mood. I can't get out that feeling. Do you know that if you force yourself to smile, like if you really force yourself to smile, you may start to, like I always start to laugh. I always instantly start to feel good. That's a pro tip. A lot of magicians, sages, warlocks, people of the occult know that you always smile, because smile will trick your enemy, and a smile also literally tricks your brain. Because it's so literally, smiling literally instantly raises your vibration, raises your mood, and it literally is what happens when we get happy, right? So when we get happy and we're smiling, we are releasing serotonin. Hold on, y'all. Serotonin. Oh, no, not. Yeah, serotonin, dopamine, and endorphins. And in turn, this is also something that is going to help to keep that third eye open and healthy, right? And also keep you in a high vibrational mood, not susceptible, right, to different things that could be happening to you. Just like how you could laugh and transmute things. Like if you laugh at something and make it funny, then you could be able to transmute something that's very serious, right? Okay, so literally just smiling, being intentional on smiling throughout your day helps you to also be very resilient, create a growth mindset, and be very optimistic, being able to look at the glass half full instead of half empty. Okay, and this in turn is going to allow you to also express more gratitude, which we know what the more gratitude the more we stay in a gratitude state, the more that it's effortless manifestation for us. Okay. Also too, they did research and it says that children smile like 400 times a day compared to adults who only smile, and this is just a statistic that they did, compared to adults 20 times a day. Okay, so that's a big difference. And think about how we need to tap into our youthful inner childlike energy. Okay, so yeah, peace. Where it be those people where I was watching this video the other day, this girl was like, and I feel her, but she was like, oh yeah, I've been watching a lot of the law of attraction things, and it's just like seems like the same thing over and over again, just a different message, blah 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 blah. And I was just like, I feel her, but at the same time, it's like, because you don't want to get it. Because you could look at a movie, the same movie over and over again and get a different message every time. But if it's not a movie that you like, you're not going to keep watching it. But if it's a movie that you really, really like, you may watch it over and over again because you're just like, damn, this is a good-ass movie. Do y'all get what I'm seeing, too, with that television, right? Movie's significant, too, because what that girl may not realize is whatever is going on in her outer environment may be affecting why she is not receiving the message. A lot of times, the message may be the same, but I learned this as well myself. I used to think, oh, when I'm done, I posted a video on that. Oh, I'm done. I did a video on that. No, silly. Everybody does not get the same message that way. You may hear it, and everybody hears something different. Why is that? Because we all living in different realities. How was that reality created? Through our antennas. Even if we're in the same environment, the antennas read different. Why is that? Because of our experiences and our trauma, right? So, yeah, and that's why, too, I always like to tell people, too, a lot of times when people think things are external to them, a lot of times it's something that internally you may need to look at. And a lot of people don't want to hear that part. So that's where a lot of people get lost at. And I know a lot of people may not even click on this content or stay on this video because they don't want to do the work. They're not really about that life. They just here to do a couple spells and make some stuff happen. They don't really want to, transmute energy? Oh, that's too much. Transmute my pain into a power? No, I want to deal with this and stay here and continue to just be healing. Nothing wrong with healing, right? Because we always going through stuff so we could be healing. But at the end of the day, I'm not affirming that. I'm affirming that I'm healed. I'm affirming that I am abundant. I am thriving. I am fully tapped into my feminine energy. Therefore, I mother myself. Therefore, I am healed. We got to start more living in the now instead of planning for the future. We are the future. We must do it now. Okay? So, I just got a headache too while we talk about it. Okay, so, and we know this to be true because the information about the, like when you take plant medicine and you see different things, we know this to be true because the all is mine. The all is mine. Hermetic principle. We don't see, we project. Science tell you you don't see, you project. But they steady want us to believe that everything is so real. That's why when you become aware to something, you start to see it everywhere, you notice it everywhere, it doesn't hit the same, right? Or say you get a new car, you start to see that car everywhere. Why? They've been there, but your awareness came to it. You start start to do a spell, a money spell. Next thing you know, you manifest the money. Why? Because you brought your awareness and your focus to it. Isn't that crazy? It's real. This is real. All right. We don't see, we project. We create our environments. And that is why everyone is living in different realities, because we literally are. This shit is deep. All right, we're creators. We're gods. Okay. And we also know that the human body is so amazing that it produces electricity. And we have magnetic fields all around us. All right, so let's talk about frequency and vibration for a second, right? And we know how an area is, how a frequency somewhere is. That can really have a big impact on a person, right? A person that's born in the hood versus the person that's born in a wealthy family gonna live two different lives, very, very drastic different lives, just off of the strength, right? Now that doesn't mean that the person that comes from the hood won't prosper, but they're gonna face many more battles, and it's not gonna be as much with ease as it is for the other child. So think about that when we talk about our human bodies producing electricity, right? And that we have these magnetic fields all around us. All right, I want to show you this. I want to show you this picture because it's going to be able to get you guys to get this next point of why we stress about the people we hang around, the environments we live in, the jobs we work at, or what we do for a living, or what we eat, what we drink, what we intake through our eyes, ears, hands, feet. This is why these things are important, because look at this diagram. So this first one is of the brain, right? The brain is right under there, and this is what the pineal gland looks like, a pine cone. Okay, now look at I'm going to show you guys another image. Hold on. It says a magnetic field is a physical field that describes the magnetic influence. Let me go back. A magnetic field is a physical field, which means it's in the 3D, right? That's why it can be scientifically proven, because it's real. This is not just woo-woo that I'm saying. Like, this is real. This is science. All right. And when we think about things as science, then we get to make the sense that things need to make. A magnetic field is a physical field that describes the magnetic influence on electric currents, moving electric charges, and magnetic materials. It's the space where a magnetic effect can be observed, and is created by moving charges or electric currents, which we also know this as a aura. And an aura is also considered exactly what we were just talking about, electromagnetic fields. And this is what surrounds the human body, but it also surrounds different items. You know, everything has a soul, herbs, different things, whole energy. And when you notice that something's vibrating at something, like, you know how it is when you go into a house, like, because a house is like everybody's own portal. So when you go to a house, it's normally a certain energy that's vibrating from the space. And that's why people will say, oh, it's very peaceful, or, oh, I love it here, I love the vibe, it feels really good. Basically what they're saying is the vibrations that's coming from the people that's living there are, you know, they either feel good, healing, either like loving, feel warming, whatever, you know, whatever that person may be needing or desiring at that time. Now, this all is stemming from, remember, the pineal gland that is creating this, that is setting the tone for how this is going to vibrate. Okay? And this is why items and different non-living objects, and also living plants and things like that, herbs, can hold a aura, which means that they have an electromagnetic field and an energy that they're putting out into the environment. That's why it's good too, if you get rid of a certain era of your life, to get rid of those clothes or different things that may remind you of something negative. But if it's positive, keep that around, right? To keep the positive energy around. And another place where we see this as evidence is like with feng shui, because we know when we utilize feng shui, we can literally clear our energy just by moving things around in our home, adding water, and adding like bamboo plants, different things that they mention in feng shui it could shift your whole life, right? Just by changing your environment, because it's emitting an energy, and it's also, that energy is affecting you because that's where you may spend most of your time, or at least too, that's where you're sleeping. So that is very beneficial too, to be able to make sure that you can really flow and get your downloads and be connected to spirit, and your third eye be open.